numbers, data. That all reminds me of Jean Bonin, my math teacher when I was 14. He was really good, but I didn't like numbers. And at the time, numbers were something a bit boring. But I think numbers have changed. Thanks to technology, numbers are about spreadsheets, are about graphics. Numbers are now visuals. So I'm here at the Institute of Fundraising Insight Conference called Show Me the Numbers to get excited about numbers. And I'm also here to ask people their favorite number and fill my lottery ticket form.
My name is John Servet-Rod and I have the honour to chair the special interest group which we call Insight, which combines the talents and educational needs of data analysts, qualitative market researchers and the web analytics community. This is the second annual conference of the Insight Special Interest Group and the theme this year is somewhat different. Our theme is presentation and persuasion rather than perhaps the analytical tools by which we get to the numerical results. The reason we've chosen the theme Show Me the Numbers is because we, in our committee of volunteers, all realised that technical skills and first-rate analysis and research is not enough. It's getting your point across, persuading people to understand and do things differently. So this year we again have two streams. One stream is to do with the visualization of data technically, so there are a lot of software demonstrations, but with a focus on visualization. And the other stream, which I'm personally part of, presenting on how to do better presentations, is about persuasion and delivery so that people understand. So psychology, the use of imagery, and getting your point across without boring the pants off people.
Hi, my name's Richard Borchmath. I'm a fundraising data executive at the British Heart Foundation and also treasurer for the Insight in Fundraising group.
Firstly, Richard's done a tremendous amount of research looking at what is effectively a guru market. On every street corner we've been able to find gurus who claim to be able, with some truth, to help us not bore audiences to sleep and to get our points across. Tell us a bit about Guy Kawasaki, that Apple guy.
Guy Kawasaki, yeah, he's a venture capitalist, used to work for Apple out in Silicon Valley. He's got a useful little rule of thumb when coming up with presentations. It's called the 10-20-30 rule. And what that stands for is have no more than 10 slides in your presentation, plan to speak for no more than 20 minutes, and use no font smaller than 30 points.
And this guy was in on the original Apple Mac production, so he knows something about simplicity and presentation and selling.
And as a venture capitalist, has to listen to a lot of PowerPoint pitches.
Let's talk about Seth Godin. He's quite a force in the land, isn't he?
He is. Probably you did a little bit more research on it. No?
Okay, well, Seth Godin is best known for books like Purple Cow, and I think his latest book is called The Red Fez. And he wrote a little monograph about PowerPoint, which is given away free. It's very short, but it's been worked on real hard. And he is a great communicator, and his rules, which we will be giving in the collateral material on the website, all the Godin stuff will be there. He says things like, you must understand that people learn through two channels, the left brain, which is mostly logic, facts, and the right brain, which is emotion, feeling, intuition. And you must talk to both channels at the same time. So if you have facts, which is our business, you must not just fire them at people and expect them to understand. You must produce collateral material, which is usually pictures, can also be music, which is what he calls the emotional proof to the facts that you're giving. And I can say that for both of us, the reading the Godin stuff has been a real turnaround, because he says, this is going to be difficult for you people, and he's dead right.
Yeah.
But we persevered. Now, whom else did we look at in terms of
Larry Lessig.
Oh yes, tell us about Larry Lessig. He's a piece of work, isn't he?
He is. He's an American college professor and a political activist in terms of free speech, particularly in the online arena. One of the founding forces behind the Creative Commons license. And he's known for a style of presentation which involves rapid fire delivery of images, short phrases, movie clips and so on, that he uses to dramatise and illustrate his points as he's making them. It's a lot of hard work, as I found out when I tried to emulate his style, but can be quite effective if you've got the time to put into it.
His is like that, isn't it? I mean, you were speaking and changing the images with each sentence, weren't you? So he fires things
several
at
times
you.
a sentence.
So he's different too. He's the polar opposite of Kawasaki. And our advice is choose your own style and your audience and pick one. If you like minimalist, Kawasaki. If you think you need to be punchy, go the Larry Lessig route.
One of the golden rules we came up with is that the research report is not the PowerPoint.
Yes, people will write a piece of research. That work you talked about on attrition of donors, that could easily be 20 pages in a Word with charts, beautifully summarised, but that's not the PowerPoint. And we all make the mistake because we're lazy and we don't have any role models. And we pour all of that information into a PowerPoint, and before you know it, you're up to 60 slides and your audience is in a coma. And what we say is, rule one, golden rule, our golden rule one, the presentation is not, sorry, the research document is not the PowerPoint. So we separate, there's the research document, do it, deliver it, then make a PowerPoint about the key points and the key points of change you want people to embrace, and that's what you put on your PowerPoint. And we have a couple more golden rules, don't we? One of your favourites is?
Yeah, you are not your audience. Got to bear in mind that your audience has different knowledge to you, otherwise what's the point in making a presentation to them? They may have different background knowledge, so get a feel for who you're going to be presenting to so that you're not putting stuff up where the audience will be lost because they don't have some critical piece of background knowledge that's stuck in your head.
So we had a couple more golden rules. One we told our audience about, and that was always talk to the left and the right brain. That's very important. And the fourth one, which we only spoke about, was to do with pain. Because we've come to the conclusion that a lot of people, when they see a traditional PowerPoint presentation, bullet pointed or not, they really do get it. They do. It's just that fundraisers can be a bit complacent. They're not hungry enough for money, and sometimes they get it, but they won't take any action. That has been my experience in Europe and in North America where I've worked. Although I think that with the coming recession, there's going to be a lot of pain in organisations and maybe more realism. We think that a little bit like an army has scouts that go out in front to find out where the enemy guns are hidden. We think that people in the analysis and research field should be the first people to pick up any signs of recession activity. And in fact, we're having a meeting on November the 4th at Cancer Research UK, put on by 3 of the special interest groups, ourselves, prospect researchers and trust and statutory, in order to try and take a lead on that, because nobody is. Now, I think the analyst becomes enormously important now because they are going to be able to focus on the most important donors, the most profitable donors, at a time when there is no big bag of gold to spend on things like donor acquisition. So we think it may be, I think the hour has come. You know, cometh the hour, cometh the men. That's what we say. Yeah, not often because it's boring, but that's what we say. My favourite number? Well, I'm very happily married, so it's 2.
I'm going to have to say 3. I was banging on about it in my presentation, about 3 being the magic number.